A shopping cart rolled across the parking lot, pushed by the evening wind, but no one noticed it, not when a terrified woman's cry cut through the rumble of engines and footsteps like a knife. And not when a little girl tugged her father's hand and whispered the words that changed everything, "Daddy, please help her." In the fading daylight outside a crowded store, a former Navy SEAL dad, trying his best to live a quiet, ordinary life, turned and saw three men cornering a woman near a blue van. For years he had buried the instincts that once ruled him, trying to rebuild his life for his daughter. But in that moment, the calm he fought so hard to create shattered, and the men he used to became roaring back. If you believe kindness, courage, and second chances can change a life, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps keep these stories alive. The man's name was Cole Maddox. 10 years ago, he had led a SEAL team through some of the most dangerous missions overseas. 5 years ago, he held his wife's hand as she fought an illness she never overcame. And 3 years ago, he walked away from the Navy to raise his daughter, Lily, alone. Every morning since, he reminded himself that the world could still be gentle, that his daughter deserved a father who brought peace, not danger, into her life. But as he stood in that parking lot, Lily clutching her stuffed unicorn and staring with wide, frightened eyes, he felt the past tightening around him. He knew danger when he saw it. And he knew a victim when he saw one even faster. The woman struggled as the men tried to shove her into the van. She kicked, twisted, and screamed, but they overpowered her easily. Cole felt his pulse steady, not race, a silence inside him that always came before action. He guided Lily behind a nearby car, telling her to stay low. She obeyed, trusting him completely. That trust fueled him more than any training ever had. Without hesitation, he crossed the distance with quiet, lethal purpose, the strength of a father, a soldier, and a man who'd lost too much to stand by while someone else suffered. When the first man noticed him, it was already too late. Cole knocked him down with a blow that sent shockwaves up his own arm. The second lunged at him, but Cole moved with fluid precision, using the man's momentum to slam him against the side of the van. The third pulled something from his jacket, but Cole struck before he could use it, grabbing the man's wrist and pinning him to the ground. The woman stumbled away, trembling, as the three attackers lay groaning on the pavement. For a moment the world went silent, people staring from a distance, unsure what had happened, unsure how one man took down three in seconds. Cole didn't stay for their questions. He only cared about Lily. He scooped her into his arms, checking her face, her trembling hands, her little unicorn pressed against her chest. She whispered, "Daddy, you saved her," softening her frightened voice. He kissed her head and held her tight. But inside, he wondered if he had done the right thing. Violence had dragged him back into the world he tried to leave. And in a world as small as their town, news traveled fast. By the time police arrived, the woman had regained her voice, telling them how Cole had saved her from being taken. Officers questioned him briefly, impressed but also stunned. He gave only the information necessary, avoiding details about his past. He didn't need attention. He didn't want it. He just wanted peace. As the crowd dispersed and the danger faded, Cole took Lily home, made her dinner, and read her favorite bedtime story until she fell asleep, soft breaths warming his shoulder. But long after she drifted off, he stared at the wall, wondering if the life he had built was about to be shattered by old shadows. The next morning, he was fixing Lily's breakfast when he heard a knock on the door, firm, precise, unmistakably official. When he opened it, a tall, serious-looking man in a decorated Navy uniform stood on his doorstep. Cole felt a jolt of recognition, not of the man himself, but of what he represented. A Navy Admiral. One of the highest ranks there was. And he was there for him. The Admiral introduced himself and thanked Cole for his bravery. He explained that the men Cole stopped were part of a larger investigation the Navy had been watching. The woman he saved was a civilian contractor who had unknowingly become a target. Cole's intervention had not only saved her life, it had prevented a possible chain of events that could have had national consequences. Cole listened quietly, unsure what to say. He had never wanted recognition. He had wanted only to protect one stranger because his daughter asked him to. But the Admiral wasn't there to recruit him back. Instead, he said something that Cole would remember for the rest of his life: a man who fights for strangers is never truly out of service. You didn't break your promise to live a peaceful life. You fulfilled your duty as a father, and as a human being. The words settled over Cole like a weight lifting. The Admiral shook his hand, saluted him, and left with a level of respect that humbled him more than any medal he had ever worn. As the door closed, Lily peeked from behind the hallway corner, asking if everything was okay. Cole knelt down, lifted her in his arms, and told her the truth, that sometimes doing the right thing changes more than just one moment. Sometimes it changes people. Sometimes it changes lives. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more inspiring stories for you. Before we end, comment below, courage begins with one choice.